Good evening, Dr. Pillai. How educated are you?
I have my SSLC from Kerala, my BA from Bombay, Somaiya College, my MA from Somaiya College, and also a PhD in literature. I also have a degree in BEd, Bachelor of Education, and also a degree in law.
Were you good at studies? My God.
I was always...
if he has to make a visiting card, it has to be a book.
I was always... in SSLC, I had about 68%. Then I had between 50 and 55, 60% throughout.
55%. What gave you this idea of educating children and educating? Where did it start?
It happened by an accident that there was a school for sale, and along with my brother, we took over that school and started classes up to 5th standard. Those were the years in 1970, government stopped English medium schools. All over the country, they stopped aiding any English medium schools. So we started with 5th standard in 1970. Then,
what kind of accident was that? In the sense that why did you decide to choose a school to buy or to help?
See, I was a lecturer in Somaiya College up to 1970. Then, I was teaching technical English, and it was an aided college, and we had to sit there for 8 hours without work. So I resigned that and started the school. That's how it was.
How many students did you start with?
I had initially about 30 or 40, then it went to 400, and we reached up to 9th standard. Then we realized that we need permission in 1975.
Oh.
So
permission
all
what?
the schools started between 70 and 75 was without recognition. Because the government did not know that unaided schools were there or are going to be there.
And how many students do you have now?
Now I have about 30,000 students.
So 30 to 30,000. I always say that kuch bhi ho sakta hai. From 30 students to 30,000 students. What is your primary reason? What do you think then when you teach? What is it that in your mind that you are actually wanting to do?
See, I always created very successful students. All my students in all my schools, nobody fails. Even in 10th standard or 12th standard. Of course, in engineering and architecture and all professional courses, there are some percentage of people dropping out at various stages. But my school education is perfect everywhere. All the schools have 100% result. In fact, in some of my schools, I have a junior college and a high school in Kanda Colony in New Penvale, where out of the 1,000 students appearing for junior college examination, almost everybody passes with 60% and above. Hardly about 10% to 15% are between 50 and 60.
Are you a strict person?
No. Okay. See, what we did was, we were invited to start schools in New Bombay. So, when I went there, we found huge playgrounds in those years, big schools they constructed and gave us. And then we created a lot of activities in the school. So, we kept the students occupied throughout activities and learning process. Sports, games, cultural activities. And therefore, children started coming to school. In fact, in a Marathi medium school, I started a swimming pool also in the 90s. In a Marathi medium school, aided school, there is a swimming pool. And the students' parents pay about 150 rupees or something like that for that, annually. And that's how we made the education very interesting for students, and therefore we don't have any dropouts.
You still not answered my question. Are you a strict teacher?
I think in the 70s to 75 to 80s, we used to beat up children.
Exactly. I went to a school where every class...
But not after 80s. I think I've beaten up children during this period. And parents wanted us to beat children.
My parents sent me to the school only for that reason. देखो, education तो हो जाएगी पर मार थोड़ी सी खा ले life के बारे में. What is one lesson you have learnt yourself about education while when you teach so much or when you have these educational institutions, etc.? What is one lesson that you've learned?
See, early in life I've learned about poverty of people and how poverty can lead to educational failure. And therefore I felt that education is the only way that you can change the face of the nation. And education is basically career building. It is basically institution building. It is basically community building, and it is nation building. Quality of life, and also protect the subsequent generations from getting into failures in life.
You have 3 children,
3, yeah.
the name. How did this thought come to your mind?
Well, I live with it. See, every day, morning till evening, I live with this education. Going to a primary school, secondary school, junior college, architecture, management, engineering, polytechnic, B.Ed, D.Ed, all kinds of schools I go every day on a daily basis. The schools that I have built, I bought land, constructed buildings, created the infrastructure, brought in teachers, brought in students, and running very successfully. So therefore, I thought that it must be that's how it was coined.
The dream of an India empowered. Do you give scholarship to students?
Yes, we do have a lot of scholarships to poor students. In fact, I have a school where a night high school and a night junior college for the working students, and especially coming from slums in Chembur. It is doing very well. The students, the best of students, we pick up and put them to management education, and we do make a difference in their lives subsequently.
To children, especially from underprivileged background, what is it your idea that this is why I want to teach these children? What is that one philosophy or one thought that you have?
See, education is going to change the world, change India, change our villages. And once we are successfully educate a child, he becomes a valuable person for the country. Can I just read something?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Consider how education empowers a nation. First, it removes poverty and ignorance. Second, it encourages family planning and restricts population growth. Third, by creating space for dialogue, it promotes respect, tolerance, positive action. It integrates the principles of human dignity and justice into our daily life. Through education, unity and sameness, it works toward a unification of man. Fourth, education creates a healthy respect for the environment. It promotes circumspect, self-correcting attitude towards environmental concerns like global warming, dependence on non-biodegradable products, energy misuse. Fifth, by raising awareness of our rights, education enables us to question inept governance and misrule. It makes us both responsible and responsive. And I was ending the book like this. To educate is to empower, and to empower is to set free. This is the heaven of freedom that Tagore was dreamt for our country. This is the attitude that we need to see now for ourselves, our country. This is the only way to scale the opportunities of the new world economy without barriers, without fetters, with our eyes on the future and with our heads held high. A nation will be able to create a lot of self-respect, dignity of human beings, and also dignity of man at the end of your life.
Won't you ensure it? So this is a good try, and I wish you great distinction. Any questions from the members of the audience? You are allowed to ask a foolish question. That's the beginning of a good question.
Saini, where all the factories are dead almost. So we needed a large number of people to work for us. And all of them want employment, but nobody has any skill. So we started a skill development program. We created a workshop for people, for plumbing, electricity, hardware, beautician, all these programs we started. It's doing very successfully. 100% done by our institution. No support from the government. We have a full-fledged skill development program which is happening. And our all our non-teaching staff are recruited from that particular institution. So we have every location we have schools and colleges, and we take the locals for all jobs except teaching, because unless they get qualified. And one important thing which I noticed was when we go and build up a region, all the people get into the spirit, and they all would be wanting to teach their children subsequently. Their awareness is created that we must educate our children. That is also one among the motives that we put over in the minds of people. Success will come to their children. Therefore, there is a lot of consciousness in the minds of these people in this wherever we have gone, that they must educate the children.
Very good. I grew up in reading books. There was a time when I had a collection of 14,000 books. Not that I read all of them, but the first book that I was introduced to by my uncle used to get those Hindi translation of Russian books as a India-Russia treaty. And the first book that I read was Maxim Gorky's Mother. And I found it amazing, the reading process, because reading, as an actor, when I teach, as an actor, I think it's very important to read. As a person, it's very important to read because it expands your imagination. It gives you a visual treat. Whereas mobile, television, all these things narrows down your imagination, because you are seeing somebody else's point of view. On a dark, wintry night, it was drizzling, and there was this man with a hat standing under a lamp post. Now, 100 people sitting here will have a different dark night. A lamp post will be different. Man with the hat will be different. But the moment you see the picturization of the same thing on television, it will be the same person for everybody. So I think that we should, the parents have to do that. I think parents need to tell their children to read books, because that will really make a difference. Yes. Anybody else?
The answer is also very simple, that free education has to be given by the government. Private education, you can make little profit, maybe 10, 15, 20% profit, because it has to sustain itself and you have to pay salary to the people. Therefore, the concept of free education has to be done by the government. And therefore, so what we do is we subsidize. Any poor students are there, we give them free education. Whoever can pay must pay. Subsidy is given to people who cannot. That's what we do in our schools. We have a lot of scholarship schemes, and we do give subsidy to people who cannot pay, and we give scholarships also. Am I answered to your question?
Yes, sir. And also, if you like to comment on this.
Vijay?